It's been a few weeks since my last Anichess video, and the guy has finally decided to challenge me again. Of course, only to give me the chance to destroy him. He said after the last video, the devs have made some balancing changes to the spells according to you guys' comments, and they want me to help them say thank you to you guys for all the productive feedbacks, but of course I'm not gonna do that. I'll pick the spells, didn't think too much. Let's go. E4. Aha. I see him keep going with the shot in the dark spell even though it got nerfed. I mean, he obviously knows that I just cannot deal with it. But let's see how it goes this time. E5. Knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, knight f6, d3, bishop c5. Castle. Aha. Here comes our first attack. Take a look at my second spell. It allows me to leap my bishop over a piece, and I assume, or pawn, and if you can look at the position, my bishop can immediately take his king if I can cast the spell, but unfortunately, I only have 5 mana on me, so I need to buy one more move. Knight takes c4. Please take my knight. Aha. He used his imposter spell on my bishop that was about to deliver the lethal strike. And now I cannot just switch it back because it blunders a knight. My bishop wouldn't be able to take his king as planned because I would have already spent all the necessary mana point. But guess what? I have already calculated this situation. This is the exact reason why I didn't just play b5 to win his bishop, because I knew he would just simply swap his bishop with mine. Everything is calculated. Bishop takes b2. He takes my knight. I'll take his rook. Gonna be difficult to bring my bishop back though, but I'm gonna try regardless. Knight d2. Bishop c3. Bishop d4 might have been better, but I don't want to trade my bishop yet, as one of my spells literally require a bishop to be able to cast. Knight b1. Aha. He is baiting me to go back to a1 and help him charge up his mana points while wasting mine because my mana pool is already full. So I guess I don't have any other choice. I can see that I am still very bad at this kind of chess though. All the games I have played so far always consist of me wasting my mana points. Or maybe it's because my opponent is way too good for me at the moment, as I think my choices of spells are genuinely good enough for a better position than this. Take queen h5. He didn't even take my pawn but chose to straight up attack my king. And in this position I found that I cannot castle. This website requires players to capture the king to win like duck chess, so not being able to castle is very weird, especially since they are still allowing me to move my king to f8, but aren't letting him castle through it. But of course, I didn't make the rules, just have to go with it. g6. Let me guess. He's gonna cast the spell. There it is. Okay, so the most obvious threat is obviously queen e5, but of course that is too obvious, so there is no way that can happen. The second choice is queen f3, a less aggressive approach, but a very textbook one, aiming for my f-pawn, and while I can defend both mentioned threats with knight e5, there is also a chance that he actually calculated everything and went queen g4, waiting patiently for my knight e5, which voluntarily blunders my king to a checkmate in 2. Very obnoxious. And after calculating all the possible possibilities as well as their relative chances of happening, I decided to create a new pawn on f6. And of course he went for the most obvious square. You know what? I actually told him beforehand that we would be playing 2 games. Trust. Second game, let's go. Second game I decided to keep my spells, because I figured that I should be getting used to a fixed set of spells first if I wanted to win. You know what they say? I don't fear someone who practiced 1,000 kicks once, but I fear someone who practiced one kick 1,000 times. Unless he breaks his leg though. e4 e5 knight f3 knight c6 bishop c4 knight f6 castle. h6. Honestly, I cannot remember why I decided to play this move, but what's done is done. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna lose by wasting a move on a pawn anyway. d4. I'll spend my mana right away. A pawn drops down from the sky, and lands on g4. Let's make a massive trade. Take d5 take. The plan is very simple. He takes my queen, my king recaptures, rook d1 check, but instead of responding to the check, at that time, I can actually use my imposter spell to switch the place of my rook and his rook, which lets my rook back rank checkmate his king, which means he has to use his slip spell and move his g-pawn backward to block the check. And then I can win a bishop. Unless he calculated everything and completely avoided the queen trade. I'll win a pawn then. Alright, I can see very clearly that the situation has changed. Unlike all the previous games I was wasting my mana. This is the very first time that I'm actually using my mana efficiently, and it is my opponent who is having to waste his mana instead. Queen takes c4. Both of us can create more pawns out of thin air, so pawns actually don't matter much. Develop queen b5 check. I also cannot castle out of check, seriously though. Need to change this because it doesn't make any sense. c6. I think I can cooperate my pieces to make a massive attack. But I need him to use a spell first to thin down his mana tank and weaken his ability to defend his position. Only then I can start making aggressive attacking moves. Queen takes b7. Castle. Queen takes c6. Bishop e5. He finally used a spell. I have a plan, but the plan is not going to work if he can trade down the queens. I'll remove his queen from my queen first. Queen b7. Here we go. Bishop jumps over my own pawn and lands on h3. Now the best thing he can do is probably to create a new pawn on g3 to help defend the king, which I'm sure I can still definitely overcome. Or maybe use the invisibility spell on his queen and try to trade down my queen, and then I have bishop h2 check, stalling the game for one move and disable his queen's invisibility. Everything is calculated. g3. Well, that should blunder the king. Queen f3. This is scary though. There is probably something I'm not seeing here.
Victory!
Ha! Never mind. Another day, another draw. At this point I'm sure all of the 9 spells have been showcased in the 2 videos, so if you have any amazing ideas on how to create a nasty combination, please feel free to leave a comment below to help me beat this guy next time I fight him. And as always, have a great day.